Welcome to Game Soup. It's a game design podcast where we throw ideas in a pot and see what's cooking. I'm Chloe Montgomery, and you're Kayla. How are you doing, Kayla?
I'm doing good. I am in a better place. That's right. If you're listening to this podcast recording, it means I've been killed.
This episode, much like a previous episode we've just done, is for the release after Kayla's death. We're going to do one for my death next week.
This is a real, cold shock, because we are actually a bit ahead of our recordings right now, so this is not going to air for at least, a week.
Yeah, God, Kayla, don't die, okay?
The backlog, which is good. Yeah, I know. I've now created a thing where, I could create a forbidden episode of Game Soup if something bad does happen to me. Would you release this episode that starts with me saying I've been killed if I was then?
I think it would be art. I think I would. I think that would be fucking art.
I think the thing is, no one could say Kayla wouldn't have wanted this. Both because on the recording I'd say I'd want you to release it, but also, just I think from knowing me, I don't think any of my friends or loved ones would go, Kayla really wouldn't have wanted you to have released. This is so disrespectful to the memory of Kayla, an absurd and whimsical woman. But no, I have moved, is what I meant by a better place. I'm recording this from a new Ratwave game house.
Yeah, it's weird that you don't give your houses names. I guess you only have the one other roommate, so you don't really need housemate, but you don't really need to. So, but all of our houses have names depending on what we've done with them. Quadrant House because I just finished reading Homestuck, and then it was Biscuit House because we'd moved in, started doing Biscuit Fund games, and then it was Holmes House because this is Holmesy's first house move, and then I don't know.
This is a random question. So are you naming these in retrospect, or are these the names of the group chats relevant to your house? And then
these are the names of the house. I mean, our current house chat is Holmes House. It has previously been Quad House, and we never called it Biscuit House in our group chat, but all of our friends were like, oh yeah, we're going over to the Biscuit Girls' house or whatever, so...
Yeah, I mean, I just frequently refer to you in conversation with people as the Biscuits. Alyssa and Chloe Biscuit.
That was on our name tags at last Tabletop Scotland. She was Alyssa Biscuits and I was Chloe Biscuits, so...
And I feel like I put that into the world, but also I do feel it's a very obvious thing to do with your names. But, yeah, and I guess it's because I feel like there were times when some of my group chat houses had names that I might, think of them, but they're more, relating to blocks of housemates often. The same place might have had a couple different names as people moved in and out. Now, because I just have one housemate, we don't have a group chat. We just have our DMs.
Direct messages, yeah.
Yeah, also, some of the places we've lived have had names, or I will call them by the road. So I'm not going to mention any of these on air. This reminds me of another funny thing I'm sort of stuck in. So I'll say this because I reckon it will have been announced properly by the time this episode airs. Me and Laurie are working on a project for Mouse Ridden Month, which we're doing something called Mech Ridden, which you can find on the pre-launch. If you look on Mouse Ridden Month pre-launch page on Backit, the big collection, you can find Mech Ridden. It's really fun. It's set on a sort of changing British high street, and is a bit kind of it's both a bit austerity 2010s coded, but also a bit of how that's coming into vogue. It's kind of a lot about the panics over sort of shoplifting, and the way so many it's urban mouse and machine role playing with a kind of recession core mech vibe.
So are you mice in mechs or what?
Yeah, you're mice in sort of mechs, which are really just a sort of power loader size suit where it's all made of recycled bits, and you're putting stickers on these mechs. It's a fun thing. There's more details on the page. The thing is, I have taken inspiration for the setting very heavily because so Laurie's writing the mechanics and lots of other things, whereas I've been writing like the setting and some of the factions. And I've taken a lot of inspiration from where I live, and I don't know how much I want to talk about that without doxing myself, you know what I mean?
I mean, you can just name a borough of London without doxing yourself. Like, are people who are trying to stalk you just going to wait on that street for weeks at a time before you appear? Like,
I don't know. I don't. I don't think you've seen how many likes and weird retweets my selfies get. Got to
oh
be
well,
always
fair
on
enough.
the alert now. No,
Hot
I
girl
don't. It's
problems.
not that weird. I have so many hot girl problems. No, I'm not entirely worried, but also maybe this is also a more concern I have because I do often just share a lot of stuff about myself, and I am aware that like if I did get a dedicated stalker, there's enough out there that it's like they'd have stuff quite easily. But also, yeah, I feel like talking about the bar I live in is not necessarily a problem. It's I don't know. London boroughs are very big, but
Yeah.
combined with other stuff, how much detail do I want to give people where they could triangulate on exactly where I live?
So Kayla's postcode is
Yeah.
LEZ ZZZ. I don't know London postcodes, so I can't complete this joke. But
Yeah, none of them begin with L, is what I'll tell you.
oh, what?
For free.
Fuck. Okay.
I
Oh,
don't.
it's SW.
Yeah. We get the cardinal directions around London. Everything
Yeah.
kind of flows through us.
To be fair, like Newcastle is
Yeah. I mean,
NE. So, like, do you not have a northeast of London? What's happening there?
I can't remember the. There's an EN and stuff.
Weird.
Yeah, they
Anyway,
get
this
that
is a
sort of
game
flip.
design podcast
But
usually.
it is. I mean, we were mainly talking about games, but there is something about design, and in terms of marketing, how much do I want to risk doxing myself to give a sort of like, oh, this is what I'm doing with my part of this game, which I will figure out close to the time. Like I said, it's in the pre-launch thing. Mouse Middle Realm is 3rd of October or November. I can't recall. I did have a fun sort of game idea. I sent you a Tumblr post at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
one night after I'd moved.
It was a
Did
bit
you read the
confusing, so you're
post
gonna have to
even?
run me back through it. Yeah, I did read it. It was just confusing. Like, how are we making a
So
game out of
the
this?
post
So
was
the
the post was someone talking about sort of opposites in schooling, like sort of doing some literary practices and learning like the opposite of words. But that was the fun thing about how opposites might not always be what you expect if a certain context is different. So an example using this, and I'll just demonstrate this on this post. We can link the post in the episode if we do riff on this idea enough.
yeah,
Chloe, what is the opposite of fast?
slow.
Yeah, slows the obvious answer if you're thinking about fast as in speed. If you were thinking about fast as in fasting, the opposite could be eat. And so then my idea was thinking of lots of words which are homophones or just have different contexts. Or like if you were thinking about it in another context of fast food, you might be like, oh, gourmet, high end. In fast fashion, you might go handmade. So thinking about
True.
maybe what like some kind of game where your spells are words and you can then cast the opposite of those words. And if you can ever justify like, oh, well, this spell is reflecting this opposite, that's a spell you can cast. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Whoops. I imagine
Don't
you
worry
could
about
also like do opposite chains. So like I go to from fast fashion to handmade, and then so factory made, and then opposite of factory is I don't know. But there could be like cool
Yeah,
chains
that
of that
chain
for
thing could
your
be fun. I was even
magic.
thinking about, oh, yeah, maybe that's something about how you team up with each other or whatever. I was, thinking like maybe you get a spell book and your spell book is just a set of words. And you can always link off that word first, but like to start casting, you need more words. Or just like think, what's the opposite of blue?
Happy.
Happy, yeah, that's one. So if you had blue as a word, you could be like, you could cast happy spells, sort of mood things. That's maybe a good way of lying. If someone's mad at you, you just cast like opposite of blue. But also, it could be red.
Yeah. And then
Um,
the opposite of red
you could
is
make an
unread,
argument for being
which
like,
makes somebody forget something that they read.
I think, yeah, I feel maybe there's the rules are like your casting is all about like what words do you have in your spell book, which is maybe you only start with like 3, and then it's also how many chains can you do. So if you're
Yeah.
a novice spellcaster, maybe it's like you've got 2 words and you can chain twice. So you get your opposite, and then you can do a single of a jump, and then you can always just like make up whatever bullshit for how the spell works, what the spell you are doing is with, as long as
Yeah.
someone accepts like the hinging of what the opposites are. If someone starts to go, no, I don't think bear is the opposite of um hold. I think those are I think those are synonyms, not opposites. I'm not going to give this. The GM would argue for you. Maybe there's also say like a timer of you thinking of like when you're like, I'm going to cast a spell, and it's like, okay, 2 minutes on the clock. What is your spell in that time?
Yeah. I like that, so you don't have endless time to sort of prevaricate and whatever. It's like, no, you're in a wizard duel. You need to figure out what you're doing quick.
Yeah, and I think it's like a thing of if the 2 minutes runs out, the only accepted answer was like the last thing you said, and then the GM gets to interpret it as they want.
Yeah.
Versus if you say something confidently, the GM accepts it. You get sort of so. Given I think all of this, like this is, I feel at least a fun system. Do we want to invent a game for this to go into, or do we want to maybe riff on other systems for other things you might be doing in a word game or whatever?
I mean, a million years ago, more like 5, I did make a game called Linguomancers, and I cannot remember a single mechanic from it, but it sounds similar to this.
Yeah, I think actually this is an interesting. This could all be one class, like the Antinomancer.
Yeah, I think this is like one class in a series of other ones. So Linguomancers had like a random word generator. I've just literally just downloaded it from my own itch. Um, oh god, it's in Arial. Um,
I like the idea of you have a spell book rather than a random thing. Like you're having to pick. It's a what?
it's
It's
in
in
Arial. It
Arial.
looks
Jesus.
horrible. But yeah, no,
But then, like, you could have
it's
a
very similar to this. So yeah,
synonymancer.
this is yes. So a what? A synonymancer and
So there, that would be like, you can always be like, well, this word also means this. That's transmutation. Transmutation is all about being able to change a property if the words can be thought of as synonyms. Which sounds overly limited, but
yeah,
like, obviously synonyms can really change an emphasis. Like, if you're able to synonym big to Titanic, that's like, okay, cool, I've turned this big soda into a kaiju.
yeah. I like that. Yeah. So what's another one we could do? We've got the antonymancer. We've got the synonym mancer.
I could see, even in a different way, maybe something about like syllables of words, like a character who whose spells are more powerful the more syllables each word they say is. I thought
Yeah,
that was really fun. What was the plot of Bibliomancer? Like
of my game Linguomancers.
Linguomancer,
It,
sorry.
it has a single line of introductory before we go straight into character generation, which is you are Linguomancers, able to shape the world by speaking the words granted to you. And then it has a GM corner, which is just here is Mad Libs for the something library is under attack by something who are looking to steal the something something. So it's definitely a one pager. Let's say that. Uh,
Fair. I like this general idea of, yeah, like magic spells relating to like word bullshit. I feel, given the designer I am, this would probably be dual modern magician. Like this would be in probably some kind of like magical realist setting, I think, rather than a big fantasy setting.
Yeah, it's like a Mage the Ascension sort of modern day magic sort of shit. Yeah. I quite like this,
Chloe, are you
honestly.
still there?
I'm still here. Oh dear. This is what happens when people watch Netflix while I'm
I
trying to
seem to
record.
not be able to hear Chloe. So I'm probably going to start wrapping this episode up soon. But yeah, I like this word idea now. But like initially, I was just like, "Oh, that's a silly pitch." But the idea of a bunch of different classes all built around different um, play with language. I like the idea of you having a timer for it. It feels like a game for girls who were told
I'm
they
back.
spoke too big and that made them, oh hey, Chloe's on back. I was sorry, I was just vamping. I was vamping and saying that I think I could plausibly make this game. I don't know if you heard me tell you that I was like, because of my predilections, it would probably be sort of set as like a modern magical
So,
realist
Kayla, I don't
game.
know if you can hear me, but you've totally turned into a robot. So, I think we're just going to have to troubleshoot this internet issues off the air. Thank you for listening to Game Soup. What a shit show this recording session was.